What is up, Imperivm fans? Welcome back to I Own No Tree. Today is a little bit of a different video. We're not going to be going into battle, unfortunately, today. But what we are going to be doing is going over the different types of buildings and interactive stuff and kind of what their purpose is and how to use them to your advantage. So that is going to be today's video over on Imperivm Simplified, just kind of a breakdown of all the buildings. In the future, I want to break down the specific units of every nation, and in another video, I also want to break down kind of each nation in and of its own, kind of every arenas, taverns, and temples' abilities, and kind of what their point is and how to gain an advantage. But today, we're going to be going over the buildings, so strap in and let's begin. Alright, so starting off is the Egyptian and Roman forts. When you discover these in-game, the fort you will automatically take just by walking by it, and it comes with 500 gold and food. But the Roman fort is going to be defended by just non-playered Libertus. Once you kill them, the fort is automatically yours, and you get 1,000 gold with it. Now, what's very important about these two forts is that if you take them and you collect 2,000 gold in them, they will start to generate gold. It has to take 2,000 gold, otherwise the gold will not generate. And then, so it works on the Egyptian fort. Let's go send them into this this Roman fort. So there we go. We have this time 3,000 gold because of the starting gold in it, but all you need is at least 2,000 gold and you get more. So if you want to send the gold somewhere, you can click on the building and right click another building, and it will automatically transfer. It will send the gold. And what's really cool is when it is above 2,000, it will not send gold. It will not send an amount less than 2,000. So it's like a village. It will send food, but the gold, like a village generates food, and once it gets to 100, it will send it. The same thing can be said here. Once it's at 2,000, it will generate gold, and then once it gets to 100, it will send it if you have it to be sent somewhere. So that is the first two forts. Moving on is we have the Carthaginian Outpost, or the Garrison. These, when you discover them in-game, are going to be protected by macemen, and when you take them, they spawn with 20 peasants in them, but to demonstrate, we just have 10 real quick. We'll go and send them in there. Now, macemen are very powerful. They have the bleeding attack, which can, if used correctly, they can absolutely wipe out war elephants, Viking lords, Praetorians. Bleeding attack is one of the strongest attacks in-game. But why the heck am I talking about macemen? Well, as you will see in just a second, these, if you send peasants into a garrison, or when you take the garrison, peasants already spawn in there, they will start to train macemen. Yes, that seems crazy, but my point exactly. We sent in a peasant, and out came a very powerful maceman. They will start to use up the food after a while. So that's why they spawn with. So when you take the base, you have 20 peasants with 2,000 food. So that is why you will. So if you do want to keep sending peasants in here, you're going to need food to keep them from starving. But yes, so you can send. If I had a village, you can right-click and make the village send to the garrison, and you can ask to call peasants, and it will send the peasants to the garrison and train them. Now, one thing I forgot to mention, all outposts can have troops in them. And all outposts, if enemy troops come close enough, will shoot at the enemy troops. Alright, moving right along is we have the military outpost of Britain. These are protected by Highlanders, the strongest of the Britain troops, or the most expensive of the Britain troops. Maybe not the strongest, in personal opinion. But when you take these, they spawn with 2,000 food, and you can just, you know, take the food and send it somewhere else. So, we'll send the food to the garrison, because why not? Similarly, it can be used, like I said, troops can be sent in as a defense, but similarly is the military outpost, which is the Iberian Outpost. These, when you see them in game, they are protected by defenders and slingers. And when you take them, you will get 1,000 gold out of it. So, pretty good. This is a good one to go after. And similarly to the military outpost, it can be used as simply a defense. You can put troops in it, peasants. Peasants will not spawn macemen. That is only the garrison. But you can put troops in here, and they will fire at enemy troops. But on the only base you don't have to fight for is the fort. The fort you just walk by and take it. Everything else you have to fight. So, moving on, we have the Galle and Germany outpost, which is known as trade posts. Now, these take some strategy to use. So when you well, let's just start by the Galle outpost is protected by 4 trident warriors, which can be annoying to overtake, but once you do, you will get 1,000 gold and 500 food. Now, the trade posts are special because they can turn food into gold, if you look up here, and vice versa. It can turn the gold into food. Now, it costs more food to turn into gold, and less gold to turn into more food. So, if you want, you could send villages to the trade post, and so the food is running in, but it will be a slow exchange, because it's 2 to 1. It costs 2 food for 1 gold, whereas gold, it only costs 10 gold for 12 food. So, 5 to 6 ratio. But, moving on to the other trade post, it's the exact same thing. You can trade gold for food. Oh, I lied. 16 gold. 10. Yeah, anyways. Yeah, I lied. 10 gold for 16 food, 5 to 8 ratio, which is even better if you need food. But gold is very in high demand. We'll just say that. But the trade post is guarded by the Germany's Valkyries. So once you take it, it spawns with 1,000 gold. And, yeah, it's just a trade outpost. Now, on to the rest of what the heck are these buildings. So, if we look on our left, I'm going to put these as parties. We're going to right-click into this cave, and they come out the other cave. Caves can be placed anywhere in maps. It can be from this corner to this corner. As long as there are 2 caves, or a cave has a second half, they can go from any distance. They can be right next to each other, they can be across the map, and it is good. Now, ruins. This is a special item holder. These ruins hold powerful items, such as the Gem of Wisdom, Bear Teeth, I think King's Belt, Concentration Stones, all sorts of things that are very powerful. Now, I am going to send Hedridge, or Hairdred, whatever his name is, into the ruin to collect the Gem of Wisdom. Now, you just click on the hero and just right-click as if you would move him. Alright, wait, so what just happened? He came out of the ruins, but the gem is still in there. But how do I get it? Well, if you take a look, this ruin is a level 4, and Hairdred is only a level 1. He is unfit to get the gem. But Caesar here is a level 4, so if we send him in and give him a second as we patiently wait, when he comes out, he has the gem, because, and now if you look at the ruins, the level has increased for the ruins. So when you want something from a ruins, you have to make sure your hero level is high enough, or your hero will lose half his health for nothing. So that is the ruins. The items hold special powers. They can strengthen your hero, they can strengthen your troops. It just depends on what it is, and if you want to know, just hover your mouse over it. Now, next on the list are more item holders. You will see different types of item holders. This is only 3 of very many, but these are some of the most common. So, again, if you wonder if something is an item holder, you can just left-click on it, and there we go. And all you have to do is right-click on it to collect it. These boulders, they make snake skins, which add 10 to damage. These tree trunks make, healing herbs, which just heals the health of the bearer. And all I need to do is just left-click on it twice, and it uses it. And then this witch hut is very powerful. It creates food. And this is 1,000 food, which is awesome. But the great things about these item holders is they will respawn their items faster than ruins will respawn a different item. Sometimes it may be the same item twice in a row, or even 3 times in a row. That happened to me once. But the ruins can spawn different items, and they're more powerful than these. See, this witch hut already has more food in it. So, these item holders are small, but they can give you a slight advantage, and yeah. So, we are going to move on to the Teton tent. Hair Dreadlock, whatever your name is, we're going to go through the cave, and we're going to go to this Teton tent. When you discover these Teton tents, they will be grayed out just like the buildings are, and they will have somewhere from 20 to 40 Tetons in it, wild Tetons. If you kill them all, you will get a Teton tent like this. It will have 2,400 food in it, and here. But what the heck do I do with this? But it requires food to train these Teton riders. If I want, I can select I want to train Teton riders, and for 400 food, it creates a Teton rider. If I wanted to create Teton archers, I would stop the production of Teton riders, and I would start training archers. If I wanted wolves, I would just do the same thing. But it cost 400 food to create a troop. But the good news is, if we so carefully take our food from this beautiful military outpost, we can actually send them into the Teton tent. And you see, the food just went up a lot. Boom, there we go. Now we're at 2,600, and as long as you have enough food to produce Tetons will produce. And one question you may have is, are they just there to, like the Tetons are, if anyone comes within the area, they'll attack? And they can be as long as they stay in the base, but you can also click on them and right-click and assign them to a hero. Now we have 5 Teton wolves, and we can travel with them. They are just like basic troops, and can actually be trained by Germany. Not the wolves, but the Teton rider and the archer can be trained by Germany. So that is how Teton tents are used, And the last thing on today's agenda is Stonehenges. Now, what is very special about these, and I actually need to... We're just going to quickly reset, don't mind me. But, so if you go straight to these Stonehenges, you will see I have 3 different scenarios set up. This Stonehenge has no sages or druids or priests of any kind, just soldiers, and nothing is happening. It's not ours, you can't click on anything. Why is that? That is because you need at least 1 druid for the Stonehenge to become yours. Now, depending on the charge level of the Stonehenge, you can do different abilities. The abilities are Word of Wisdom, which increases the level of everyone by 1. You can decrease the village's food, so no food spawns. You can restore the stamina. You can damage. You can automatically kill all sages after a period of time. And the last one is causes all warriors to ignore enemy armor. So, this can be very powerful, and all you simply do is just click on the Word of Wisdom, or that says Wind of Wisdom, not Word of Wisdom, I apologize. But you click on it, and it basically charges the Stonehenge, 10 charge, or, yeah. So the Wind of Wisdom is going to do exactly as it says. If you come over here to Caesar, when the Wind of Wisdom is done, boom. Both our heroes upgraded. In fact, everyone upgraded by 1. So, that is the abilities. And look, we have Wind of Wisdom again. We can do it. But, something to note is that this is charging very slowly. But if you look down here, holy crap. The more sages you have, the faster the Stonehenge will charge. So I can go ahead and say Bloodlust. Everyone ignores characters, and we still have 37. And right now, it is not charging because it's actually going through the ritual. But once the ritual is done, it will start charging again. And like I said, the more sages, the faster it charges. So, I spawned these here, but what if you come across, what if you have an army that just comes across the Stonehenge? How do you use it? Well, I can't use it right now because no druids are around, but if we get a druid or a sage close enough to it, come on, there we go. You get it close enough or in the range of it, it now becomes yours and you can activate the abilities. Yeah, see how fast this one charges? Because I have 9 druids here, whereas here I only have 1 and it charges very slowly. So, guys, that is going to be this video of Imperivm Simplified. I hope you guys like the idea, and if there's something specific I missed or forgot or that you want to see, let me know down in the comments below, because I would love to know what you guys think and what questions you have. So, with that, I will say peace.